Hey everybody. So for today's skill, we're going to do 100 squat thrusts for time. Now the squat thrust is very similar to the burpee. In fact, it is what the burpee was when the burpee was first created. But it has changed over time, so we know the burpee is something else. But the squat thrust is this movement where you start standing, you go to a plank position like you're at the top of a push-up, and then you stand back up. So what we're looking for standard-wise is hands to the floor, and then we shoot our legs back and get that full hip and knee extension. That's technically the thrust in this movement. And then we just stand back up. You don't need to jump. You don't need to clap. You just need to stand, which means you're getting full knee and hip extension. There's not really much of a squat or a thrust in this movement, despite the name. But that's it. It's simple on paper. It's just an up-down. Sometimes it's even called that, up-down. And we're doing 100 of them. And we're going to do it for time. Log your score and be on the whiteboard, and we'll see where we end up on that. Okay? The workout today is going to be, there's just a blue and a black. They're both the same thing, essentially, just a little bit different rep count on the high knees, which do add up. The high knees, we're looking to get our knees up high, so above the hip crease is what we're looking for, but as high as you can, up toward the chest. And these do get harder and harder as you go here. We're kind of simulating running in place, but making it a little bit harder than just kind of jogging in place. Get those knees way up there. So we're looking for 50 of those in the blue and 100 of them in the green. And obviously each leg is one rep, so it's left leg is 1, right leg is 2, etc., etc. And you can stop and break those up, but you got to finish your 50 or 100 before you move on to the next movement, which is the overhead squat. And in the blue and the black, we're looking for the same rep count, 15 of these. And the overhead squat, we are going to use a PVC pipe if you have one. Most of you probably don't, but you can use a broomstick. You can use anything that is long. If you don't have anything long or a pole or something like a pole, you can certainly use a jump rope. If you have a jump rope, just hold that out at its ends, or you can even just roll up a towel and hold that over your head, something to put some resistance on and pull apart as if it were a barbell. Of course, it won't have any weight to it, but that's what we're looking for. And the overhead squat, just like any other squat, we're in our squat stance, feet about shoulder width apart, toes pointed out, and we are going to push the butt back and down. We're looking for a full depth squat, so hip crease below the top of the kneecap. And then we're going to stand all the way back up to finish the squat with the knees and hips fully extended. Sometimes on the overhead squat, we miss that hip extension. People will stand up and they feel their knees extend, but they're leaning forward and not quite getting the hips open. So really push your hips forward and get them extended, and that's your overhead squat. Elbows extended over your head, head in front of the bar or whatever it is you're holding over your head, and shrug those shoulders, activate your shoulders, and we're going to do 15 of those. So this whole thing is going to be 5 rounds for time. So it's 50 or 100 high knees and 15 overhead squats with whatever you're using, PVC pipe, broomstick, towel, jump rope, something like that. A band, if you have a band, that can work too. And we're going to do 5 rounds of that for time. And that's our workout. So log your scores on Beyond the Whiteboard, and we will see you tomorrow.